Hey guys, more factoring. Today we're going to look at difference of two squares. And this is our formula to where we have a squared minus b squared. And what that turns into in factored form is a plus b times a minus b. So one of the simpler forms to remember, a squared minus b squared in factored form is a plus b times a minus b. So let's look at some examples. I have x squared minus 81. Color code it. This is my a, x squared. This is my b, 9 squared. So identifying a and b, I simply plug into this formula. A plus b times a minus b. X minus 9 times x plus 9. The reason that we have opposite signs here, the negative and the positive, is because they're going to end up canceling out. X times x is x squared. X times 9 is 9x. A negative 9x, or a negative 9 times x is a negative 9x. Negative 9 times 9, negative 81. 9x minus 9x cancels. I'm left with x squared minus 81. Another example. I have 9x squared minus 1. Well, this is simply 3x squared minus 1 squared. This is my a, 3x. This is my b, 1. 3x plus 1 times 3x minus 1. Notice I have plus and minus in opposite positions than I have now. Commutative property of multiplication. It doesn't matter. I will still end up with 9x squared minus 1 whenever I check my work. 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times a negative 1 is a negative 3x. 1 times 3x is 3x. And 1 times a negative 1 is a negative 1. My 3x's cancel, leaving me with 9x squared minus 1. So what I ask is that you pause the video and you work the next two problems. And let's see if we come up with the same answers. Okay, so what I need is for this form here. So let's even just do it like this. A equals, well, 5 squared is 25, so 5x, and B equals 7 squared is 49, so 7y. So what I know I have, okay, I have my formula, a squared minus b squared, and what that equals is a plus b times a minus b. Well, what is a? 5x squared minus, and b is 7y squared. So I just plug in those a's and those b's. 5x plus 7y times 5x minus 7y. Check my work. 5x times 5x is 25x squared minus 35xy plus 35xy minus 49y squared. Those cancel, leaving me with 25x squared minus 49y squared. So, in factored form, that is my answer. Next one. Next one, a little tricky. First thing you needed to do was to factor out an x. Identify my a equals 4x, and b will equal 3. So my formula, a squared minus b squared, and I recommend that you write your formula out each time. It helps you to memorize it. I know that my a is 4x squared, and I write it like this, or I recommend writing it like this. That way you can verify and look. 4x, all that squared is 16x squared. 3 squared is 9. So all I've done is rewritten it in a different form. Equals, when I say 4x plus 3 times 4x minus 3. Let's check. 16x squared minus 12x plus 12x minus 9. Those cancel. So there's one thing now that I have to add to my answer, so I'll rewrite it over here. X times 4x plus 3 times 4x minus 3. And that is the difference of two squares. So please critically think about what you're doing. Be able to make sure you memorize the formula and be able to understand how this actually works, that the opposite signs cancel that middle term of that trinomial, and these won't be written as something generally as a squared and b squared. You'll be given a perfect square and you have to be able to understand, okay, 81 can be written as 9 squared, 1 can be rewritten as 1 squared, 49 can be rewritten as 7 squared, or 25 can be rewritten as 5 squared. So it's about being able to visualize, and how you come about that is working those homework problems diligently. Okay guys, critically think and structure your homework, and good luck on your homework problems dealing with difference of two squares.